Menorca.
Yeah.
Heading back through the islands and on our way back out the Med. It's weird, isn't it? It's a weird feeling.
Yeah.
I'm a bit...
It's the faintest little breath of mistral wind blowing now, so we might as well follow it, ride it.
Nice early start, gonna get going, because we might have a slow sail ahead of us, who knows. Captain's excited!
Oh yeah. Sailing business.
Yeah. It's what she loves to do. She does best. Put downwind. Yeah, got my favourite sail out. It's the mizzen staysail. Don't know why I like it so much. It's just, I think it looks really nice. It's really easy to use, and it just fills that gap between the two masts. So it's given us at least an extra knot.
Big one, oh.
Never get tired of it.
No.
There's our friends Levi back there. We've decided we're going to carry on for another 20 miles or so. They're going to go into Porto Cristo, I think. So we're waving goodbye to them. We're a bit sad because we're not going to see them again. We didn't really get to say goodbye properly.
Leaving Mallorca on our way back to Formentera, which is going to be an overnight crossing. We're not going to have very much wind, but it's the first overnight we've done in a while, so crazy wind's probably be a bad thing. It's a bit more wind would be good. Nice to get out to sea because it's so hot. The sea breeze would be good.
What is he doing out there? He's got bits of string, he's got the old paddle part of the oar. I think someone's a bit bored. No land, no boats in sight. Lovely. So it is just gone 10, I've just started my shift. The stars are just starting to come out. We've only got, well, a breath of wind, but we are going 2.3 knots, so it's enough really. I mean, we're not too fussed. Got hours to get there, all night. Ben's still up, he's going to go to bed in a minute, he's just fiddling around with the sails. It's going to be a really nice night, I think. I'm really looking forward to my first night watch.
It's just gone 1 o'clock. He's just gone to bed. I've got the kettle on. We already do about 2.5 knots. We've got about 4 knots of wind. So we're not moving very fast, but it's just nice to do a night sail again. The stars are awesome. Just the whole sky is just alight with pinpricks. And I saw a couple of shooting stars. Yeah, I'm looking forward to my night watch.
Sun's just come up. I've managed to turn the engine off, which is good. So we're sailing. 9 knots of wind. We're getting 4 knots, so it's not too bad. But the moon's still out. Lovely morning.
Well, we've just I started a bit sleepy this morning. I've just got up, we've just had some toast and coffee, and we've got Ibiza in sight and Formentera, and it's been okay. I think we've motored half, sailed half. The winds have been quite variable, come from many different directions, and it's, what, 110 miles?
Yeah. Both a bit tired. Well, we made it. We're tired. It took us 27 hours in the end, I think. So we're here. We're going to chill out. We've just been for a swim to the beach, and we are going to have a bit of a lazy afternoon, aren't we? Recover.
Yeah.
And then go for dinner maybe, because it's our anniversary. So, a happy anniversary, happy 12 years.
Cheers.
Here's to another, hopefully more than 12. So this guy who's on the bigger boat, the power boat, anchored about 1 metre away from us. So then he tried to pull his anchor up and he hooked our anchor chain, got stuck, so then he sort of hit us, not very hard, just bumped into us. And Ben dived down and unhooked his chain, but then he couldn't pull it up for some reason. He's on board on his own, it's a little bit windy. So then he reversed, ran in circles for a bit, really far too fast, and hooked this other boat here and dragged that around for a bit. And then he hooked our anchor ball. So basically, he doesn't know what he's doing, and he can't speak a word of English. So Ben's now got on board and he's trying to help him out, but he's potentially unhooked us, and he's also definitely unhooked the other boat. Oh, blimey, we've just been diving down, trying to sort the anchor out because the guy had unhooked it and flipped it over, so the point was now on its back. So we had to dive down about 5 metres, well maybe 4 metres, and manually flip it over, and then Ben picked it up and walked it, so it's more in line with our boat, and now we can dig it in. So yeah, fun times. lovely sail. But it is a bit like flying a big, unpredictable kite, I think.
Weird, it's so humid, there's moisture on every surface. It's incredible clamminess. It's really quite uncomfortable. I think it's probably about 30 degrees, 32 degrees.
What do you think, Captain Underpants?
Kind of seems pointless having the engine on for an extra knot. But I know what you mean, we've only got 32 hours to make the journey, so if we continue going under 4 knots, we might not make it.
At 5 knots it should be taking us about 27 hours, so 4 knots, 4.5 knots was what? 32 hours? It works out hours?
So, yeah, which we could just do in daylight.
So we've got to keep up at least 4.5 knots. Otherwise we'll be getting in like 10 o'clock at night, and then we don't really want to do that.
I don't want to go in there in the dark, really.
No.
There's a, it's quite hard marina to see into.
It's too brightly lit, isn't it? So you can't see anything. As in, it sounds...
Especially with this boat with all the glass.
Sounds like it helps, but it doesn't.
No. Down to 3 knots.
Got a motor.
It's, what, 10 to 4 in the morning. I'm just about waking Nikki up. And we're over halfway on our passage from Formentera to Cartagena. Not too much traffic, making about 5 or 6 knots. Yeah, I'm ready to get some rest. I didn't sleep well on my first 3 hours whilst Nikki was on this evening, because we've got the Ray Marine autopilot makes so much noise. It just echoes sort of through the boat, with squeaking, fidgeting. Anyway, it's impossible to sleep with it going, even with earplugs in and everything, and your head under a pillow. And the old autopilot, which is an old Neko one, is fine. It's really quiet, but it uses loads of power. So I got this thing, we can use it at the moment. The old one's on, you can't hear it, but I've had to hand steer most of my watch. So quite exhausting. It's quite rolling. Got about, I don't know, 2 meters of swell. So anyway, I'm looking forward to some sleep. We've got a small problem that keeps happening. The prop brake, because we've got a hydraulic gearbox, it's not as simple as just putting our the gear lever in reverse to stop the propeller spinning when you're sailing. Because it's hydraulic, it has a separate, it's like a motorcycle brake disc with a caliper on it, and for some reason it keeps working its way loose. So now I've got to go in the engine room and try to stop it spinning, otherwise it wears out the bearings of the gearbox. So instead of just going to bed, getting 3 hours rest, I've already spent an hour trying to fix that.
That there is a fishing boat whose turned its AIS off, which they quite often do. And for about the last hour we've been trying to work out what direction he was going in. And we eventually managed to pick out his port light, which you can just see there, but now you can see his starboard light as well, which means he's head on to us. So we've just stuck the motor on just to try and get past him, because it's really hard to judge distance in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and the problem is he keeps changing course.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult to work out.
So yeah, I mean, I think we're okay, but could have been a collision.
Yeah.
If we hadn't motored. Shall I turn it off now?
Yeah. Right, Nikki's just woken me up. It's 8:30, so she's let me sleep an extra hour and a half.
I fixed the prop brake before I went to bed at like 5 in the morning, and it seems to be holding. And the winds have held, and the sun is back up, and the solar panels are charging up the batteries, and the old autopilot's continued working all through the night, nice and quietly. So there you go. It's a lesson learned. Don't waste money on modern autopilots if you've got a perfectly good old one working. I should have just spent more money on batteries. So that's just about 24 hours in. I haven't looked to see how far off we are from Cartagena, but we're just coming to the outside of the shipping lane, so we'll make our crossing across that as close to 90 degrees as we can. There seems to be there's quite a lot of fishing boats around, and there's a few big freighters we can see in the distance. But I should think we'll probably be in by around midday, which makes it quite a good crossing. So I'm trying to get across in front of the one that's coming up, and then go behind the one that's coming down. They're both going at about 15 to 20 knots. In the end, we decided not to cross in front of him, so we're going to wait for all three of them bad boys to go by before we have a go crossing. Just got to say how proud of Nikki I am. She did a really good stint of nearly 5 hours, which is nearly 6 hours, with no sleep from 4 onwards, and she managed to bake bread, and she cooked me breakfast before she went to sleep. So she deserves some rest now. So on this last run into Cartagena in the next 5 hours, I'm going to leave her undisturbed. She's sleeping sweetly. Right, 21st of June, we did a 32-hour sail from Formentera back to Cartagena yesterday, got in late in the afternoon, and today we've just been filling up with water, taking advantage of the marina, having showers, which is really nice, and catching up on some sleep. And today we've been washing down the boat, doing all the maintenance jobs. This is our 1974 original Perkins engine, 4236. The previous owner decided to spray silver, so it looks a bit weird. It should be blue, but she's good. I have a lot of faith in her. She works when we want her to so far, touch wood. I've got an alteration to make to the exhaust pipe, because apparently the system we've got, that goes out into a water jacketed section. Actually 2 water jackets, and then over a big swan neck, and then out through a rubber section. And apparently they're galvanised, and apparently the galvanised ones, the inner core can rot through, and you don't know anything about it, and then you get back flooding of the engine because the water makes its way into the exhaust pipe, and then back into the manifold, and then back through the valve ports and fills up the cylinders, and then you just get what they call hydrolocking, and the thing won't turn over. And you can't fix it quickly, so you're a bit disabled. So that's a job I've got to do this summer. Otherwise, it's not a very pleasant day to be in here. It's so hot. It must be like 36, 37 degrees in here. Leaving Cartagena. Yeah, we've got another overnight sail, possibly not as long as the last one, but probably, what is it, it's going to be 20 hours?
In between 20 and 24, depending on our speed.
Yeah. And where are we going? Because I forgot.
Agua Dulce.
Agua Dulce.
Which we've been to before, we know it's nice.
Yeah. Just hope it's a small marina, and it's always quite busy, so we're hoping to find a space there. If not, we might try and anchor off. Where is it? Almeria? Almerimar.
But I don't think there are any suitable anchorages with the swell direction.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
What's all in the kitchen today then?
Some soup. It's going to be cauliflower and broccoli kind of cheese, but it's the root, well, the stem of the broccoli, whatever you want to call it.
Is it the bits that most people don't eat?
Most people throw away, but it's really good for you. There's nothing wrong with it. It is really good. So it's all chopped up, and I'm putting the greens in of the cauliflower as well, which most people throw away, which are like cabbage. You know, you've got to use them. No waste.
Recently we've been having a few problems with our boat speed. It's just not working. I've cleaned it a couple of times from the outside, but it's still not working, so I am going to try and remove it from the inside whilst we're out at sea. Is that a good idea? Or is that a really bad idea?
What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, I don't know. And this is the offending item. It hasn't been out in ages, so I'm going to try. Yeah, I can at least move the thread. So I'm going to whip that out and put the other one in very quickly, because there'll be a 1.5 inch hole in the boat.
I'm quite nervous.
Well, I'm a little bit. I haven't done this before.
Oh, Ben, why did you decide to do it now?
Because I want to have work and boat speed start.
Get ready to shove it back in.
You can look at the film.
Oh my god, you can see
It's daylight.
We need to clean the bilge a bit. Oh, shit. You're going to have to stand with your hand there the whole time.
I'm soaked. I've got to clean the bilge anyway.
Oh my god.
I'm not sure if this one.
Doesn't look like it's going to screw on.
It does.
If that pops out overnight...
It's not, I'm going to clean this one, because this is the thing there. Oh, it's weird, it seems to be fine. It's got like a few bits of barnacle in it, but... So I'm going to scrape all that out and hopefully that'll do it. So that's all cleaned up, put back in. You just got to make sure that the pins on this one signify the direction that the water must flow. So, or you know, it doesn't matter which way around, 180 degrees, but not crossways because it won't spin. There we have it, at last, a working boat speed gauge. Oh yeah.
Nice. Broccoli, cauliflower and cheese from Menorca. We've lost all wind. We've got 6 knots of wind, so not enough. The autopilot's just being a massive drama queen. It does that annoying noise and overcorrects all the time. There you go. Mainsail's doing its annoying slapping sound. That noise.
Trying to figure out what it's fixed.
We've been doing everything we can to try and stop it. We've got preventers on. The swell's actually dying down as well, so but we just haven't got enough speed.
It's just wind pressure.
So it's been very annoying, so I've given up and I'm making dinner. Look at that! That's crazy! So you sort of cut it to size.
I got confused because I didn't know whether to order it by the metre or what.
So, salchichas. So yeah, we're having sausage casserole. And that's about as exciting as it gets on the Bora front this evening. It's 20 to 8. We've got another probably 20 hours or something stupid of this. No, less than that, about 15 hours. We're really hot and sweaty, as you can see. And it's great, isn't it? Having a great time.
Once again, we are motor sailing. There's only about 4 knots of wind, but there's still a leftover swell, and that is making it to try and sail in those conditions with this boat. We just roll around like hell, and it's very noisy. But what we found is, because it is a motor sailor, as soon as you put the engine on, even at idle, you get back up to over 5 knots, sometimes around 6. We're only using about 3, probably possibly just under 3 litres an hour diesel, and the motion just improves 90% until you can do anything. I can go below, I can do editing, read a book, cook. It's a shame that this boat won't sail in light winds comfortably. You need a boat that weighed 3 times less and had a rig 3 times as high, which would be a twitchy machine in an ocean swell anyway. But we found that this is what this thing's built for. So we've just got to the point where we've gone, well, we've got to put up with it and to be happy with having the engine on in light winds. So that's what we're doing.
Well, after a fairly frustrating day, it's nice and calm now. We're having a nice little glass of wine and watching that beautiful sunset. Got quite a busy little night tonight because we're sailing closer to shore than normal. Got the radar going tonight because it's a little bit foggy and there are so many boats without AIS. Like you can see those 3 there on our port side are fishing boats, and that guy just behind us there, that white one that just flashed up, that is a tiny little yacht, and he didn't even have the right lights on. He can't be sailing because we're having to motor, so there's absolutely no wind. So he didn't have his steaming light on or anything like that. So you just see his tiny little starboard light on his mast. So I'm glad we've put it up because it just makes things so much easier. Well, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. Ben has just gone to bed. So we are going past Agua Dulce at the moment, and we're actually heading to Menorca. So we were going to stop at Agua Dulce, but we just thought it's another 3 hours, and rather than doing that trip tomorrow when there's no wind at all, we thought we might as well motor sail now. So get it out of the way, and then tomorrow we can have a nice rest. There's supposed to be some good chandleries there, good shops to stock up, and most importantly, we can just do some sleeping. Well, we're here, just getting tied up to our mooring. This is our Menorca. They're all med-style moorings, so bows or stern too. It's a bit difficult with our dinghy on the back like this, but it's our only choice.
No.
Speak to me.
No, I'm too hot.
What's wrong with you?
I'm too hot, I'm too fed up with both.
It's pretty boring, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel bad for you.
I know, I do too. Have you gone down and apologised to it?
Oh yeah, I'm going to do it in a second.
Yeah. Oh, it's a boring old day. It's completely flat out there. There's zero wind. It's like a pond. But we are having to motor because we're trying to make it back to the Straits of Gibraltar. Well, we're not actually going to the Straits of Gibraltar, we're cutting across to Morocco, but we've got limited time to do it because I've got a flight from Gibraltar on the 29th, and we want to go to Morocco before I go back, so we are on a bit of a time limit, and obviously that means we can't wait for wind. So we're motoring today. It's about a 10-hour trip, so the poor old engine is having to plug on. It's very, very, very hot because there's no wind, and we're both feeling a bit sticky and a bit bored. So, what's happening today, Captain?
We're going to make passage from Morocco,
Yeah.
I think. So we're going to get going at about 11.
Yeah.
Keep sailing west until the winds turn, and then we'll take a sort of almost 90-degree turn south across the shipping lanes, as close as we can get to Gibraltar.
Yeah.
And then slowly quickly cross the channel.
Yeah.
But then slowly make our way to Morocco, because we don't want to arrive in darkness.
No, we don't want to be on the Moroccan coast in the early hours of the morning, that's for sure.
Because we've heard of people being, like, attempts being made to board vessels and all sorts.
But also, they don't like people being on the coast because of all the drug smuggling that goes on. So we just don't, there's just no point arriving in between like 3 and 6 or anything. So ideally want to arrive, what, between 6 and 9? Maybe a bit later?
Later, sort of, yeah, 9 o'clock. I don't think the office is open until 9 or 10.
Yeah. So we're going to head for Marina Smear, which is sort of slightly south of Ceuta. I think it's a good stopping point for us because then we can just head north and go straight back to Gibraltar when I need to catch my flight. Nice, 6.2 knots, straight out the anchorage. So how do you feel about going to Morocco then?
I'm wary. I think I'm wary. I've been to Africa before and I know what a massive difference it can be. I don't think Morocco is quite the same as Tanzania, but
yeah. Well, I don't know. The main thing I'm worried about is being a European woman, especially being blonde. You tend to get hassled quite a bit. So I'm gonna, you have to be respectful of their culture and ways anyway. So you have to cover up. But I think I'll probably take a scarf to cover all my shoulders, and then I can put it over my hair if I feel like I want to. And apparently it just draws the attention away. But I'm not really worried about getting hassled. I'm more worried about it being really hot and having to cover up, because I've been wearing, like, you know, next to nothing for months and I'm still really hot. So wearing like long sleeves, long skirts, long dresses, you know, potentially a headscarf is going to be really, really, really stifling. So if it stays a bit cloudy, it might be alright, but I just hope there's a bit of a breeze there, that's all.
okay, I think we should flip out our twin headsails and try and get more west in our direction whilst we've got this wind. I know we're sailing really well at the moment. We're sailing at about 120 degrees, so the wind's coming from this direction. We want to turn more downwind, and as we do, so we'll be going more west, which is where we want to go. Not much, no, probably only 10 degrees, and that will bring the wind direction round to 150, or thereabouts, between 120 and 150. Pole out, we'll just put the pole out this side and then pull the jib over. We're going to go super quick because we've got like 20 knots of wind nearly.
Cool.
Do you think there's maybe too much wind?
What was I saying this morning in bed about what time we were leaving and how
So
I don't want to get
saying is you
there
don't want to
too
get there any
fast?
quicker.
Well, yeah, but we don't want to get to Morocco coast early.
Yeah, this wind will blow itself out in no time at all.
Okay, and if it doesn't, we'll just have to hang around in the middle of the med for a while.
Go 2 knots, 3 knots.
Okay.
But yeah, the whole reason, the whole point between the twin headsail idea is, one, when you're going downwind a long time, means we keep the main up, we keep it sheeted in, so there's no chafe against the spreaders, because we've got a rig where it rubs quite badly. So if we go wing and wing, you can put the mainsail, the boom out, to catch a lot of wind, like the sort of near 90-degree angle, but it rubs the sail across the back of the pocket so badly that I think certainly an ocean passage would cut through the fabric. So with this rig setup, you use the two headsails that are giving you your drive, pulling the boat forward from the front with no chafe, and the sail, the mainsail, is sheeted in at about 45 degrees, so it doesn't touch anything. Gives you a little bit of drive, but mainly just gives you a lot of roll stabilisation. You sheet it down quite tight at that sort of 45-degree angle.
that's the idea behind it.
Should we do it then?
Yeah.
One extreme to the other, what's happened in those last about 30 seconds?
30 seconds. The wind died completely, got 0 knots. And now it's overcast, and our solar panels only make about 4 amps on an overcast day. And the navigational electronics, the fridge, both the fridges and the autopilot take over 5 amps hourly. So I tried to start the generator and now the generator won't start. So, the sail's down again. Mediterranean sailing in the summer, don't do it.
No, that's where we're leaving.
You can see why all the Spanish just motor around with all their sail covers on, zipped up, because you can, if there's wind you put your sails up and it goes away. If there's no wind you leave the sails away into the gale. I don't know.
We've had the best of it through the winter sailing and now we're leaving, which is good.
Yeah.
Oh, the joys, the ups and downs of boat life, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, Ben, what's just happened?
I don't know.
The generator started. Did you speak too soon and presume it was broken?
I did. That's really weird. Because I could hear the start battery going flat.
Woohoo!
Try once more.
Well done, Jenny. 2 seconds later, the wind has come all the way around from the opposite direction. We've had to roll in twins and put it out one side, and that's the only angle we can sail at. So we're going to hit the land.
No, try and take course again. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see if we're going to have to try and sail this.
Well,
I mean, it looks like the westerlies are coming early.
if I can't take course.
Right, attack.
Fuck! Oh my god. Jesus.
We can't sail in this really.
It's going to be going up and down, isn't it, the whole day?
We've got no other option to further away the force and motor head on into it as close an angle we can, keep the main filled. Any other choice?
Bloody forecast. It's never right, is it? Whatever we check, cross-reference it 3 or 4 times.
That's every single one, including the Texas drop.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot else you can do. Just look at that.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
What
Tuesday.
day it is.
It's
Monday.
It's either Monday or Tuesday.
Monday.
Anyway, we're just about to cross over to Morocco.
Crazy angle we're having to sail at, almost going completely sideways to our course, and that's I think due to we must have quite a strong tide and then strong westerly winds. I underestimated the eastward going tide by quite a bit. I think maybe the wind has driven up an extra knot or maybe 2 knots of current flowing into the Med, so we got pushed quite quickly back into the Mediterranean. So I've had to put the motor on to get some sort of angle. So we've got everything. That southerly course was the best course we could sail without the engine on, and it's pure westerly wind and a pure westerly current, so now we're just having to motor to make our way westward and try and get to Smere.
How was that then?
Crazy, but quite good. It was good fun. But yeah, I did. The old wind gauge started working again, and that was reading 20 to 25. So I think in reality that's probably 30 something, because it's so stiff you can hardly turn it.
And swell with it.
Yeah, and swell with it. So we're nearly there. Just come round the headland, so now the wind's gone almost completely, and the seas are calming.
Morocco.
And we're very close to Morocco.
Nearly here.